Hey everyone, Dylan with the HD Perspective here, and I got my buddy Adam Roloffs here. You can check out his channel. Lots of good stuff on there, but we got the Matco Flyer for the month of December, so we're going to take a look at that. So, yeah.
Looks like we're starting out with their scan tool here. I've never actually done anything with Matco scan tools, so I have absolutely no real-world experience on this.
Apparently they're rebranded launch scan tool, a lot of them anyways, and so it might be another avenue to look at if you're interested. And I've heard good things, never had a need to use one. So
looks like it's based off the Android operating system, so
yeah,
could be gives you other apps to use while you're using it maybe.
So this I saw on the flyer and actually thought it was a pretty decent idea. They're post clamp pliers, so $58 could get you out of a bind. I don't know.
I'd be willing to try these out. I don't know if I want to spend the $60 quite yet, but I definitely would like to get a pair in my hands, and I'd like to just to try them, see how they're like. You know, if any of you guys have used them, please feel free to comment. I'd love to hear from you about them.
Yeah, okay. And then, well, these I use them quite often. I don't have Matco ones, but I've got a Snap-on one that are pretty similar. So
yeah, I've got a pair of Blue Point ones, and they look identical other than color on that one.
So likely a rebrand there, so you can do some searching around, maybe find a better price. But
so I know the Blue Point one's no longer available. It's now Snap-on, and it's a different design. So.
And then that hood prop. I know you had something to say about that.
Yeah, like I said, these are super handy for when the struts are dying. But I like the smaller ones that clamp onto the strut. Just they're kind of out of your way when you're working. That's kind of why I like them. But like I said, some of these cars had a hood prop and they're just missing and they don't work. So that's kind of the only avenue open to you. But
yeah,
if my preference, if the hood's not staying up, I like the one that clamps the strut. And a lot of guys use vice grips, but I just find them a little bit bulkier.
Yeah. Well, and then you might scratch up the prop rod a little bit if you're using vice grips or something.
Well, if the strut's not holding it anymore, it's pretty much toast anyway. So
yeah. Okay, and then I guess if you work on Ford 6.7s, then you got some diesel injector sockets. Can't say that I've ever tried them. I don't really work on too many Fords. So.
I could throw in the common Ford joke. If you got a 6.7, you're going to be working it all the time. But like I said, I don't have any experience with it, so I'm going to leave that alone and let you guys say whatever you want to say.
So these, if you do a lot of trailer work, very handy to have. Especially nice that they come with the little cleaning tools for cleaning the terminals. But yeah, you can troubleshoot between the truck and the trailer, and just make sure that you're getting power where you need it. So very handy.
I picked up this set for Mac with a discount deal. I can't remember who it was made by, the name of the company offhand, but they make all kinds of stuff. But this I didn't actually have the cleaner enhancer. I'm curious how that stuff works. I usually have some stuff just in a spray can.
Yeah, some contact cleaner or whatever. Now, I have the Blue Point version of that, and yeah, it saved me a lot of time. So there you go. Pin cleaner kit there for $32. Yeah, I don't know, not too bad, I guess. And then some relay switches, so you can bypass your relay or whatever and do your troubleshooting. So I don't know if $82 is worth it, because you can. There's other ways of doing it, so you don't need to have those, but maybe it's nice. I don't know.
Yeah, because I don't know if you're looking for a gift for somebody, I'm sure someone will quite enjoy it. But if I'm going to spend $82, I think I might do another avenue for the same product. Mm-hmm. Just because there's a lot out there that does the exact same thing. So
yeah. Okay, so I guess they got a little bit of a deal on their 1/2-inch air impact wrench there, $389. They say you're saving $97. I don't have much for Matco air tools. I don't know.
I've got a cut-off tools. All I've got for Matco. So I haven't really used it, so I can't say it's any better than other. It was something I picked up. Pretty much, it was given to me. So.
Oh, I guess it's a 3/8 impact. I might have said 1/2-inch. I can't remember, but so 425 foot-pounds.
That's 625. 625 breakaway.
I was looking at the working torque number there. Okay, yeah, so decent numbers anyways, decent specs for a 3/8. 2-year warranty.
That's actually, from what I've heard about Matco, that's exceptional. I know they really push saying that they have the most banging in their power tools, like they're the most powerful. But like I said, I don't have a lot of experience with them, price wise. To actually be honest with it, $380 doesn't seem like a terrible price for a 3/8 gun.
Yeah, I mean it's on the pricier end, I would say, but I've had good luck with my IR gun. If you're looking for a 3/8 air impact, that's pretty reasonably priced. Usually you can find them fairly good price on Amazon or wherever, right? So there's different options out there. Then they got these body tool hammers here.
I've heard good things about the Matco stuff. I really haven't used them a lot. A couple of the guys I worked with have had those, but I personally have Snap-on, and I like how the Snap-on feel. They're just nicely weighted. But a lot of guys, yeah, they like the Matco. So I've heard really good things about the Matco body hammers. So
yeah, I don't know about the price, $194. I don't know if that's decent or not. Or
for 4 hammers, it's actually not bad, 'cause I think the Snap-ons are about $75 a hammer. So
yeah, so $50 a hammer thereabouts.
Yeah, that's
not too bad, I guess. Their pick sets. If you don't have one of these sets, they're very handy. And $57.
It seems to be the going rate.
Yeah, it's not too bad
for a name brand pick set. I know you can go to Harbor Freight or Princess and get them for like $10, but they're not the same type of picks.
Yeah, and they're a little more sturdier. I don't know. I've got the Snap-on set, and I've had just the ends replaced quite a few times from my dealer. So
yeah, I'm actually still on my original set of Snap-on picks. I've had them for going on 15 years now. So
I guess that's the advantage of buying them from the tool truck is it's easy to get them warranted, because if you use them a lot, you like the tips do kind of break off or wear down or whatever.
Yeah, like I said, mine are definitely not straight or not in the same direction they were originally when I bought them, but
yeah,
they're still intact.
So they've got their new lineup of toolboxes, the Revel X, I guess. Looks pretty cool. Looks rugged anyways.
Yeah, it looks like you got like a foot of ground clearance down there.
So I don't know. It's hard to say from the picture here, I guess, but
see it in person.
Seeing other toolboxes on the truck, like a Matco does make a nice box. Some guys don't like the kind of with the sliders on them, I guess, because they've got friction instead of like a detent. So
yeah, they wear quite quickly. I'm seeing a couple of features just looking at this box that have me intrigued, or things that I like. I like these 3 full width drawers.
Yeah, I like that too.
It was looking like this. Looks like this drawer slides out almost for a writing surface or for
computer
laptop.
drawer. Looks like, yeah.
So that could be actually pretty handy, especially a lot of smaller stuff, or even just a surface to write on.
Yeah,
I find that a lot of toolbox companies they offer the writing surface, but they put it so low in the toolbox.
Yeah, it's kind of useless. Yeah,
you can't use it. So
8-inch casters, definitely like that if you got to move your toolbox around at all. So
the only thing I'm not seeing on here that I wish toolbox they would advertise more is the actual depth of the toolbox. Mm-hmm. I know a lot of guys come up and say, I get the Harbor Freight, but I find the department stores and the lower end stores, they don't offer enough depth in the drawers.
Right.
I don't know if you haven't had it, it's not as big a deal, but once you've had it, it's really hard to go back.
Yeah, it's nice to have. You realize kind of what you've been missing out on if you go to one of these higher end boxes. Stud cleaning set. Yeah, I mean, always handy to have. I don't personally have one. I kind of just use a wire brush or whatever. So there's other things you can do, but
it's pretty handy. You get in there and cleans it up, and like I said, rust is your biggest enemy when it comes to wheel studs or stuff like that. So
or even battery terminals. I don't know if you could use it for that or not.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, it's definitely, if you recommend battery terminals that are cleaners that are like that, they don't take away as much material, so you don't have problems with the terminals coming loose on you. But yeah, I don't know if that's what they're really looking for on those ones. But
so torque sticks, I know guys like them. I personally don't use them. Probably because they just don't make them big enough for what I need, but yeah. So I just use a torque wrench. But.
I like torque sticks, but I don't use them for final torque.
Yeah.
I basically will run the nuts up with a torque stick, and that way I know like some of these guns are so nice wherever it's a way you don't over torque, and then you come by and you give it that little quarter turn to torque at final torque when you're done. You just that way you're not over torquing when you're in a hurry.
Yeah. So what? Like if you got to torque something to 100 foot-pounds, you maybe run it up to 80 and then.
Oh, you still use the 100, but you run it till it hits, and once it hits, and then you go and torque it
with your torque wrench.
Yeah. It's just that way you're not over torquing, and that's a lot of people complain or wherever they come up and someone reefs it on. You hear the guy with an impact, and he's tightening.
Yeah,
it's like he's way over.
It's too much. Yeah, so you got to know how to use them. You got to know what you're doing with those. These lock key kits. If I could see them if you're an automotive guy. Trying to find the proper lock key on a customer's vehicle, if it's in the glove box in the spare tire compartment, who knows where.
If you're like you're doing a lot of tires, or just doing a lot of these are pretty much German applications. So you got Volkswagen for their first generation wheel lock, second gen, and then BMW second gen, and then fits all internal spline. So. Yeah, they've gone through a couple different styles over the years. I know I've bought several wrecked Volkswagens, and I've got a decent collection of these, but there's always one I don't have, and guys are forever losing them. Just makes it nice so you get the wheels off instead of using some of those turbo sockets. Sometimes you just don't have enough room with a turbo socket in the inside of the wheel. So
kind of pricey though. So
yeah, it's one of those things you got to be using a lot.
Yeah. Streamlight flashlights, you can pick these up quite a bit cheaper online than off the truck, but they are a nice light. Probably my favorite pen light for sure.
Yeah, it's my favorite, and like I said, if you got a good dealer, like I said, I've had to have one. I've had, I guess, 3 over the years. I've had to have one warranted, so that's why I kind of have my third one. But yeah, I tried one of those Coast lights out, and I still use this one all the time.
Yeah,
it's still my favorite. But
it's my go-to as well, and I've had them warranted now, I think 3 or 4 times. But hey, it's always in my pocket, and it gets used and abused.
Yeah, I think I bought my first one probably 15 years ago, and that was the one I just barely warranted. So
they've got their lineup of impacts, electric impacts. So if you're invested in the Matco line, maybe you can get a few bucks off, but pricey stuff.
Yeah, so I came across an article recently, and they tested, I think it was 10 or 12
different impacts,
half-inch impacts or whatever, and they went to the companies and said, well, what will you offer us to to test out your product? And most of the companies freely volunteered. Matco was one of the tool truck brands that offered to put their gun in. And I think Mac put one in along with their DeWalt line. I figured they were going to be the same, which they weren't.
Yeah.
Snap-on did not offer anything up for the test. And then you had your Milwaukee and Bosch, I think were all in there. And
Makita maybe too.
Yeah, I think Makita was in there.
Yeah.
And they went and tested out. But yeah, Matco ended up on the bottom of the list, and it had great power, they said, but what scored low was they were the most expensive gun there by a couple $100. I think it was what they were. Yeah. They were more, I think. And yeah, $735. The next competition was usually around the $500 mark. So
the other problem with Matco is if you invest in this lineup, they don't have a lot of other tools that you can use. Where if you go with a company like Makita or Milwaukee or DeWalt or something, there's a whole lineup of different tools that you can use with those batteries, not just impact, but like if you got to do some work around the house and you want to buy a drill or a saw or something, like you can your batteries are interchangeable, whereas Matco is kind of strictly geared towards the mechanic, I guess.
Yeah, and it's kind of batteries are for the impact. I don't know if they've got too many other tools that use that particular battery, but I guess the other thing that scored low on the test for was they're not showing it in the flyer here, but what they were saying on the test, it's a 90-day warranty.
Oh, really? Yeah. That's not good enough.
No, not when you're spending that kind of money.
Yeah, $737, and that's on sale. So yeah, they've got a cordless ratchet here. Once again, I guess kind of same things apply there. I don't know, $350. It's pretty pricey, but maybe it's not bad. I don't know.
I don't know what. I know the bare tool on the new Milwaukee or whatever is only like 100 or I think it's 200.
It's $200 Canadian. Yeah.
No battery, so
maybe it's okay.
I know. I saw the junkie did a test with the Snap-on versus the Milwaukee, and I think he said that he was getting about 55 foot-pounds of breakaway torque. So
yeah,
it seems like it's probably on par with the Milwaukee there. So
yeah, so they got a couple lights too with use the same battery. $70 for their 12-volt battery. You know, I've seen the Milwaukee ones for sale for like around $40-50. So all things to consider. When you're buying any kind of cordless tools, you can't just consider buying the one tool itself. You got to consider the whole lineup, because you're probably going to want to add to that lineup as you go along in your career.
Yeah.
So they got a pretty nice 3/4 inch drive impact, 1,800 foot-pounds.
That's a lot of breakaway torque there.
That's a lot of jam. So $859. You know, the Snap-on one's up over around $1,000, I think. So
yeah, and I don't think anybody makes one that's cheap. So
yeah,
I do find this kind of humorous though. 1,800 foot-pounds of breakaway torque, and then one-handed operation. Seems kind of like a disaster waiting to happen.
Well, yeah. I don't know. I, once again, don't have a lot of Matco tools, or air tools, I should say. I've got the Snap-on 3/4, and I've been really happy with it. I also bought mine used on eBay, so it's always a good place to look for air tools. And my thought process was, even if the impact's no good, I can throw a rebuild kit in it and still be money ahead. So
yeah, that's that initial sticker shock. If you can get past that, make it work for you.
A little sander kit there, $208. I guess if you're doing a lot of that kind of bodywork and stuff, or cleaning parts.
Yeah, this is good for like doing brake jobs and stuff like that. You're trying to clean up your mating surfaces.
Yeah, there you go. That's actually probably not a bad price, I would say. Air ratchet. Don't really see too many of these anymore, but I guess they're still out there.
Yeah, still, it's hard to beat, the speed and the jam of the air.
Yeah, just enough jam to get your knuckles in between whatever you're working on, so you can't let go of the trigger.
Yeah, or swing it into a battery terminal.
So a little small chuck key. Yeah, I mean, if you need one, there you go. Get a few bucks off, anyways. $30.
Seems to be the thing that always goes missing.
Yeah. Reversible air drill. $430. I don't know. Just get yourself a power drill, I would say. Nowadays, they're getting pretty good, so I don't know. Yeah,
haven't tried that one I accidentally bought, but
I've been happy with my Milwaukee one so far, so good. Haven't used my air drill since I bought that, so. And what do we got here? Some sanders.
Yeah, I like this style of sander. I've used them a bit. Price-wise, I think they're a little on the high side. Most of the guys I talk to, they really like the Ingersoll Rand. You can get a composite body one. Seems to hold up really well and does a great job. But I think that one on an expensive day is like maybe pushing $200.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Yeah, kind of a 90-degree bit driver attachment for your drill or whatever, $52. Seen them cheaper from other brands. But
definitely a great tool idea, especially if you're trying to install mud flaps or take mud flaps off on a car without taking the wheel off.
Yeah, or dash work or anything like that. So
yeah, definitely a great tool idea. If you don't have one, I do recommend looking for one. Whether it's
Matco
through Matco or whatever, like for the convenience of, hey, you got one of these on board, I'll take it type thing. It may be worth it for that price, but
yeah,
if you've got some time to look for it, I'm sure you can get a better deal.
So a little air saw, handy little tools. Not something that you're going to use a lot of, but when you need it, you need it. So kind of one of those things. $350 probably isn't a bad price either. You might be able to find them a little cheaper if you go to IR or something like that. But
I guess it is that time of year where you might be looking for some tax write-off. So
there you go, $351. I guess some magnets and mirrors. So if you got a good dealer and they're willing to warranty those, then sure, maybe a good price. Actually, $14 ain't bad.
Sometimes if you got a good deal, it's Merry Christmas.
Yeah. So yeah, there you go.
The only thing I'm just saying is they're a little bigger in the hand.
In the handle. Yeah.
I personally like the smaller shank stuff. It just the stuff that's more like a regular pen. It just fits better in your shirt pocket or your coveralls pocket.
Yeah.
That's just my personal preference. You know, some guys like the bigger stuff just when your hands get all oily and greasy, but I like the smaller ones. That way you can stick them in your pocket.
I find where they fall apart the most is where they extend out, and then you end up just pulling the end out of the telescoping bit. So if you can get it a little more beefy there, I don't know, something to watch for anyways.
Yeah, they're, for me in the automotive world, I like the smaller heads just because usually when you drop a bolt,
it's down in there.
It's in a hole, and these big guys, they tend to stick to everything but what you want it to. So smaller sometimes a little easier to work with. Yeah,
but in the heavy duty world, like if you're working on a pile of hydraulics and you drop your wrench down into a big rat's nest of hydraulic hoses, sometimes having the big one is nice because you can actually pull the wrench up with it.
Yeah, so with the little guy, I can pull a wrench up, but if I hit something,
then down the wrench goes.
Yeah, it doesn't always stick. So
well, and if you're working on hydraulics like a -16 hose, you're usually using an 1.5-inch wrench. So yeah, you're not going to be pulling that up with a small magnet.
So yeah, to every application has its
thing. Yeah. So not really sure what this is. Fix Advisor Pro, it's some sort of a scope or a scan tool.
Yeah, it looks domestic Asian. Looks like everything. It looks like it's just a basic scan tool with a couple extra little features, but just a smaller interface. So it looks like you just kind of do a quick scan and clear codes.
There you go. Too much money though.
It lets you graph stuff. So for the graphing option, $565. It's
maybe okay.
But like I said, I don't know. I got that. What's that? Blue.
Oh, the blue driver.
Yeah, the blue driver with the interface to your smartphone, which is
it's like $100 on Amazon or something like that.
Yeah,
you can pick up to 5 PIDs and graph them.
Well, you can pick more than 5 PIDs too.
Well, at once though.
Yeah. Well, you can do more. They just recommend only 5.
I guess it depends on the speed of your phone and everything.
Yeah. Well, 5 fit on one screen, so.
Okay, a multimeter here, $147. Yeah, decent enough, I guess. And the Power Probe 3S. So,
safety orange?
I guess. Maybe a little bit different display on there than the normal one.
Oh, I see. Looks like something flip screen.
Okay. So well, maybe it tilts up a little bit. So I guess it's good if you're going into a fuse box or something. It's kind of hard to see the display on those, and I've had that issue before. I know some guys kind of get an extra tip and then they bend it 90 degrees so they can get in there. But there you go. A little test light there, $50. Not sure if that's worth it, but
as far as test lights go, it's actually the Snap-on one seems to be going for $100. So that way, it's actually pretty good. Does it give me a digital display or is it just light up?
Looks like it just lights up. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's just a light up. So maybe.
So here's a multimeter. Fluke, they're a really good multimeter. They've got a name for themselves anyways. But then you also pay the price. So, and then I do like that detachable screen feature. Kind of lets you be kind of 2 places at once, have your multimeter hooked up, and then if you got to walk around to turn something on in the vehicle or whatever, you can bring the screen with you and see what it's doing.
Well, that's the thing I find you working with a multimeter is tend to get your hands tied up with leads. It's kind of hard to twist it so you can put the screen exactly where you can see it and as you're testing and go from there.
So it could be a time saver, save you walking back and forth, checking stuff, and it might pay for itself if you do a lot of electrical diagnostics and stuff. So not gonna really talk too much about the Matco. But yeah, if you want a long sleeve T-shirt, there you can pony up the $63.95
Or if you're a bigger guy, then it's $70.
$70.
That's hard to justify for a T-shirt.
Yeah. Different things. You can even get a turbo keychain.
So I've always felt those are the things your dealer should be giving to you after some purchases.
So last page here, they've got a little socket set with some different smaller ratchets and stuff. $147, and what, a socket tray there for $37. So it's actually not bad price for one of those socket trays, I guess.
Yeah, like seems to be
kind of the going rate, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's on the lower end of the going rate, especially for the name brand stuff.
Mm-hmm. And the service set. Well, a couple of those ratchets look like they'd actually be pretty nice.
Yeah, I had other applications that used that because this just holds your regular screwdriver bits and super handy. If I haven't actually tried, as far as the ratcheting action, how good it is, but I've heard good things about Matco ratchets. So
yeah, quarter drive if you need some small stuff. It's probably not a bad deal. Anyways, that's it for this month. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and check out Adam's channel as well, and we'll talk to you in the next video.
Have a good one.